Turn 1, Austerlitz. Landgren's 2nd Corps. Doktorov's 1st Corps. Solt, huge 4th Corps. Holds. Remember, the fog of Austerlitz keeps all vision down to 1/3 of an infantry move. Bagration's advance guard. Of course, it's winter. These lakes are all frozen. The Austrian 5th Corps. Rebeshev's 3rd Corps. Now notice when I'm not actually moving my full movement, and I know I won't be, they could move to there, but I'm not going to move that far. I don't even need to measure. I'm just going, okay, they're going up to here. Much of the movement is very quick. Colerate's 4th Corps. Kenmeier's Corps. Lanné's 5th Corps. And with Lanné's 5th Corps, Napoleon will also come on. Napoleon leaves the Olmütz road and begins drifting north. That was turn 1. This is turn 2. Whoops, I forgot to move the guard. The Russian Guard, under Constantin. Solt's 4th Corps holds the line. Rebeshev's 3rd Corps. Doktorov's 1st Corps. His artillery moves up on top of the hill. Lanné's 5th Corps. Now Wathier's cavalry can see Doktorov's flank. That's a pretty juicy attack, but he doesn't know where the rest of the army is. Instead, Lanné deploys thusly. Davout arrives. His 3rd Corps arrives in column and is able to move this far. Colerate's 4th Corps. Bagration's advance guard reforms for an infantry assault on Austerlitz. Kenmeier's Austrians advance. Constantin's Guard Corps enfilades forward. Turn 3. Landgren's 2nd Corps attacks Koblenz. Kenmeier's Austrians. Kenmeier's cavalry charges Lanné's cavalry. The rest of his corps attacks the monastery. Rebeshev's 3rd Corps crests the hill. His left flank drives into the orchard. Doktorov. Doktorov occupies Grzykowitz, but stays on the east bank of the Goldbrock River. Colerate's 4th Corps storms the extreme French left. Lanné's 5th Corps. They're flanked, but they're gonna hold. Lanné's 5th Corps, entire 5th Corps is gonna hold. Their demise or their victory will be glorious. Liechtenstein's 5th Corps rides through the fog and attacks the French on the hill. He's attacking between Sokolnitz and Telnitz because he can't attack into towns with cavalry. However, the concentrated infantry from Bagration's corps does attack Sokolnitz. Davout continues to move towards the center. And finally, Soult's mighty 4th Corps. They close up and flank attack the cavalry assault in the center. Beaumont's dragoons charge the hole in the center. Now we're into turn 3 combat. This is the last round of fog. The whole line is attacking. This may decide many things. The French artillery on the hill fires first, cutting down the Austrian dragoons. Now the hussars destroy the French artillery. Liechtenstein's dragoons destroy the detachment that was guarding the artillery and ride away. Next, Bagration's attack on Austerlitz. The Austrians are driven back. The Russians press forward. The Russians fall back. Austerlitz holds. Russians attacking a couple detachments in the orchard. They do no damage. The detachments fall back. The Russian dragoons are driven back by the artillery. The assault in Austerlitz. Landgren's infantry falls back. Lanné's cavalry combat. Lanné's hussars are driven back, fighting at the mission on the hill. Lanné's men, though heavily pressed, drive off the cavalry and destroy the infantry. Lanné's French are driven from the hill. Turn 4. The fog has lifted. 5th Corps under Liechtenstein. They fall back. They're spent. Davout holds as the rest of his column marches up to join him. Bagration, his advance guard artillery, opens up on Vendôme's men, driving them from the hill. The cavalry chases the fleeing French. The dragoons guard their flank. The infantry seeks protection behind the hill. Constantin's guards drive in the center. Trebuchev's 3rd. The artillery fires on the Frenchmen in Austerlitz. The infantry presses forward. Speaking of pressing forward, Colloret's 4th Corps pushes. And Kenmeier's cavalry Landgren's 2nd Corps fires on Austerlitz. Also ineffective. Dr. Oz 1st Corps shells the French positions across the Goldbach, but the French hold. Lanné's 5th Corps. Lanné's 5th Corps is falling back. Artillery is pulled to the hill. Wathier rallies his hussars and turns back, facing the Austrians. Napoleon continues moving north. Soult's 4th Corps. Soult is in command range. His troops over here, elements of Hilaire's division, and they flank attack. Beaumont's dragoons fall back. Detachments fall back behind the river. Far right French flank is pulled back, though they hold on to Austerlitz for a little longer. Let us see how well this works out for them. They throw back the lifeguards. Worked out very well for them. And now the flank attack. Now this is artillery. It is destroyed. And Landgren's infantry fall back without a fight. That would not have went well. The last thing they need is a hole in the line right there. Turn 5. One more combat. The hussars on the left. Lanné's hussars are eliminated. Landgren's 2nd Corps. The artillery continues shelling Austerlitz. They're now showing some damage. Lanné. Forms on the ridge. Constantin. And they shell the Frenchmen to no effect. The Austrian cavalry, having destroyed Lanné's cavalry, now begin picking away his line. Bagration's advance guard. They continue moving around these last French, who are now cut off from combat command, so they can't run and attack anyone. They can only sit there or try to move back to their corps. Liechtenstein's cavalry recovers. Soult moves south to try and restore the situation. Now Van Damme is in command, and he attacks. The detachments attack. The Hussars move behind the hills. Hilaire's division pulls back, not wanting to recreate what happened in Sokolnitz. 3rd Corps, Prebyshev's men. He sends them into the battle. Colerate's 4th Corps. Detachment moves off. You can see Napoleon, as they suspected, it's just a bluff. All the French have are what's right here. Colerate's artillery occupies the hill. And last to move is Doktorov. And he's right here. Fires at the Frenchman across from him, causing some damage. He pushes. Combat turn 5. Oh my gosh, how do you do that combat? Let me tell you, this is how you do it. First of all, no matter what order you fight in, everything is reduced to 2 contacting units at a time. So I can fight this way, I can fight this way, I can fight these 2, fight this way, I can fight this way. And each time, you take up just what happens in that combat. This is how it goes. This is the edge that the French have because they choose the order of the combats. So the first combat is going to be Van Damme here attacking the unit to his front, and they're flanked. So he gets to add 1. The Austrians here have to subtract 1. Well, that was Russian Guard. They should have attacked as a charge rule. That's an option, and they should have used it, but they did not. And now they have this. Cavalry's even. French get +1. The cavalry do 3. The French do 1 + 1, 2. So they're eliminated. They retreat. Push back these French. This cavalry also falls back. Now the next combat, these grenadiers attack from behind by these detachments. Now they're touching, but that's not enough. This combat was up here. This is a different combat back here. And ultimately they ride off. Now the last combat we have here is Prebyshev's infantry attacking Van Damme's division from behind. Van Damme takes 3 hits and would end up retreating, but there's nowhere for him to retreat in here. He is destroyed. The Russians become spent. There, very complex battle, swirling mess. Soult was so swarmed, even he couldn't sort it out. But you see in that complexity, you divide it down into 1 attacker, 1 defender, plus any mods for being flanked or whatnot, and fight it 1 battle at a time by the side that gets to choose the order of combat. At Austerlitz, that's the French. It would be interesting to decide that it's the French if Napoleon's there, and if he's not there, it's the coalition. But that's not the rule. That would be an interesting variation if you want to try that. Choosing the order of combats can be pretty huge. Doktorov assaulting the French. The first round there's no casualties. French decide to fall back. And here it's just a detachment, but the French got no hits, so they fall back. And now here, flanked, attacking spent infantry. They retreat back, they are eliminated. Here, attacking artillery. Artillery goes first and destroys one. Russians move up, fire second, and destroy the artillery. That is the end of the combat. Alright, end of turn 5. Let's see where we're at. The French have lost 3 infantry blocks. They can lose a total of 5. The coalition has lost 2 infantry blocks. They can lose 7. So if the French lose 2 more, they lose. Turn 6. Alright, Ken Meyer's troops continue sweeping away Lanné's division. Davout. Doktorov shells the French just outside of Puntowitz, driving them back. Colerath. Artillery fires. Men are driven back, and Jurchik lurches forward. Now Lanné is activated. And now the Guard Corps. And Bagration's advance guard. Soult's 4th Corps. Trubishev's 3rd Corps. Landgren's 2nd Corps. That's it for turn 6. Turn 7. It's early evening and Soult deploys bags. His corps is brought up to strength. Davout. The Russian Guards. Charge the French center. Ken Meyer's Austrians continue the chase of Davout's men. Trebuchev's 3rd Corps holds. Lanné continues to fall back. Advance guard presses ahead. Landgren's Corps, one last drive. Combat. Far coalition left flank. Hussars are destroyed. French dragoons are bruised but not beaten. And the detachment is run down. The French elite troops escape almost certain death. The French fall back, but they hold. Last turn of the night. The coalition either has to capture some French bags or break the army by destroying 2 more infantry blocks. Lanné's infantry holds up on the hill. Liechtenstein's hussars cannot reach anyone, so they simply go up to the hill and watch the battle. Soult. He placed the screens out. Expands his line. Langren attacks the screen. Kenmeyer tries extracting one more casualty. Davout. The advance guard fires on the cav, driving them back. Russian troops in the advance guard charge. Prebyshev's exhausted corps holds. The Russian Guard. Russian Guard artillery fires. Friant's division is driven back. Austerlitz's 4th Corps moves forward. Here we are at the last turn of the game. At the end of the game, beginning of combat, the Russian troops have contacted no bags. This means they must destroy 2 French infantry blocks to win. So if they don't destroy them in the first round of combat, the infantry blocks can simply retreat. The advance guard charge. Friant's division falls back. The life guard. There they've destroyed 1. Cavalry on Beaumont's cavalry. They fall back. Cavalry on French elites. They do 1, the elites ignore the 1. They take 1, they ignore that. Now the French simply fall back. This is just a French detachment. They fall back. No, they're staying, they're gonna fight. Because I don't want to push the other guys back. They're destroyed. And finally, the last hope. And this might do it. Cavalry attacking spent infantry. And getting maximum damage. So that is destroyed. Last attack. Last turn. They destroy the unit they need to win. The coalition has won Austerlitz. But it was very close. One different roll and it wouldn't have been enough. The French would have won. Man, that was a good game.